There's an art and a science to user experience design. I have the opportunity to bring in a human element into something that people don't think of as being very human. That is something that I find to be extremely inspiring about this career. And when I met everyone on this team, I felt at home.
So by nature, we're all user experience designers and user interface designers. This is my idea.
User experience is really focusing on the user. That is the most important part. Really talking to the user and having empathy on what they want to see or what they want to interact with.
I kind of came to this career in a very circuitous way. This is not a career I chose. It chose me.
Since I was a little girl, I always liked and enjoyed working with computers, being creative.
I'm passionate about creating. I start from creating fashion objects in general.
I used to love dismantling my cell phones and putting them back together.
I wanted to be Indiana Jones when I grew up.
I would rather create something digitally. Our planet is overwhelmed with material, physical objects, so I went to study coding. Coding was fun, but I realized this is not something I would love to do on my daily basis.
After I completed my undergraduate in Texas, I moved to New York to pursue my master's degree in anthropology. I have a background as a teacher. I taught high school for a couple of years, so I wanted to combine that love of education along with culture.
So I'm originally from Venezuela. I moved here to continue my undergrad education. I studied graphic design, and I decided to continue my education with a master's degree. That led me to be a UX designer today.
So at that time, I started thinking about what is user experience and what is user interface.
User experience design are the people who are the ones that help develop applications, software, digital products, digital services.
Building platforms that the users want to use. It's important to understand the consumers, the clients, the users, and UX gives that opportunity.
That is what we do. We study people and their motivations, their behaviors. I am an anthropologist every day, but it's being applied in a completely different sense.
I do visual design to create an interface for the application.
Wireframes we use as the first step in our design process. It's usually in black and white, in basic designs focusing on just the text and shapes, just to convey the idea. The ideal next step would be to test it with the actual user. Talk to them, let them play and interact with it and see what needs to be improved, what works, what doesn't, and then we can iterate on that. The ideal would be to create a second wireframe and then retest it. Because iteration is very important in UX, but eventually that would lead to building that high fidelity, the actual colors, the actual text, so we can see how everything comes together, and then eventually we'll get to the developer team so they can actually build it in their code and the application comes to life.
What we really want them to understand about a user experience, about UX, and our return on investment to them is we are going to help our client not just make something pretty. What it really is about identifying what your problem is. Maybe, things are linking incorrectly. Maybe your load time is too slow. So how do you know which is the right problem to solve? That really is the value of UX, based on what your users are actually doing with your product, what they think about your product, and what they need their product to do for them.
I think this is a great time to be part of the design thinking community and user experience. There's constant platforms and applications coming out every day.
For anyone looking to pursue this career, especially for someone like me, if you don't have a technical background, maybe you're a social scientist, you do have opportunities because what you know and what you're able to do is incredibly valuable. For people who are in this industry, in UX, and you're looking to move forward, I think the most important thing you do is two things: is find a mentor, find somebody who really wants to see you grow. And the other thing you should do is find yourself a really good team.
I do love being part of my team and working with them and bouncing up ideas and understanding the user with them and just making better products.